Hello, everyone. My name is Kendall Venters, and my topic is based around Latin music in the music industry. While researching around the major issues that are apparent in the Latin music genre, one issue that seemed to be of popular discussion was what exactly Latin music is and who can embrace it in a socially appreciated way. As society begins to become more comfortable with talking about cultural appropriation, I believe this topic is one we could all use some knowledge on, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at the history of Latin music and where it all started. Latin music was brought about by the Spanish and the Portuguese when they came to the Americas during the colonization period. During this time, a lot of different cultures were coming over, but the Spanish were some of the first to explore the New World. Along with their music, they also introduced many instruments that we are familiar with today, some of them being the guitar, which is a classic obviously, everyone knows it, and the gyro, which is shown in the picture to the right of the slide. As technology begins to advance, or should I say continues to advance, original elements of Latin music are still persistent in music today. The first issue I want to introduce is what exactly Latin music is. Latin music has so many different cultures blended into it, including Spanish, Mexican, Colombian, and so many others. So the question lies in who can embrace the elements of the music in a way that is socially respectful to the culture. In an article titled The Many Contradictions of Latin Music, Ana Maria Sayer interviews Petra Rivera, a scholar studying the intersection between race and popular culture with a focus on reggae. Rivera talks about how society normalizes listening to different music genres, which is okay and typically encouraged, but has no interest in informing themselves on the true meaning behind the music. Many individuals have no actual knowledge about Latin music, so do not even understand what the music is portraying. This leads us into our next issue. As Latin music becomes more popular in society, more and more people are being introduced to the genre. This rise in popularity can cause even more issues, as some artists who do not even have Latino heritage are incorporating the elements of the music into their own music. The music itself is becoming more mainstream and Americanized, and the original Latino artists are not getting the attention and credit they deserve as new artists move into the genre. We'll talk about an example of this in a few slides coming up. So why are these issues so important to the Latin music industry? Well, society needs to have a basic understanding of Latin music in order to truly appreciate the beauty behind it. This involves us educating ourselves, embracing the beautiful elements of Latin music, and showing respect to some of the Latin artists who gave the genre the platform it has today. Some of the original Latin artists include Vicente Fernandez, Jose Jose, and Banda El Recodo. Vicente Fernandez, and please excuse me if I'm pronouncing any of these names incorrectly, is known as the king of ranchera music, and Jose Jose was apparent in the 1970s and 1980s and focused on contemporary Latin music. Banda El Recodo is a well-known Mexican band and was actually one of the first groups to branch out of the genre and incorporate elements of pop into their music. Maybe they are one of the first well-known people who blended music together, starting the trend that it has today. Who knows? While the issue of defining Latin music affects many aspects of the industry, it has major effects on how to market Latin music in particular. So who is allowed to consume Latin music? We know through our lectures that consumption involves the process of using something, whether that be watching a movie or listening to a song. While the majority of people listen to music because it is catchy or popular on the radio, sometimes singing along in the car for fun leads us to say things that we do not even realize we are saying. Majority of Latin songs are in another language outside of English. If you hear the song over and over again, learn the words even though you cannot interpret them because you are not fluent in the language, and repeat the words while singing along, you have no true understanding of what you are singing along to. You could be saying something offensive or disrespectful without even knowing it. And this kind of ties into society's lack of education on the Latin music industry. The second marketing issue apparent relates to target audience. When Latin music is created, who exactly is the target audience for the music when it is marketed? Should it consist of society as a whole, or should it be marketed only towards the Latin community? As the popularity of Latin music continues to increase and more artists use elements of the music in their songs, should those songs be marketed as Latin or something else? So many questions arise when you start to blend cultures, even in music, because it is hard to associate what is politically correct these days, considering the past years and changes that have been made in society, especially relating to cultural appropriation. One last marketing issue that I want to discuss I feel is extremely important, and it relates to branding. We know that music artists, bands, and anything else that make up the music industry brand themselves in order to increase engagement and awareness about their music. While artists have the ability to brand themselves as they please, can artists who use Latin elements in their songs brand themselves as Latin regardless of lack of Latin heritage? An example of this lies in Justin Bieber's hit song that I'm sure all of us have heard, Despacito. While the song is catchy and was widely popular in the summer of 2017, this is a prime example of how mainstream music utilizes Latin heritage by taking away success from the original Latin artists. Bieber was not even the original creator of the song and took away the success from Luis Fonsi, a Puerto Rican pop star. Many individuals believe this to be a form of cultural appropriation and do not think non-Latino artists have the privilege of using the elements of Latin music in their music. So can these artists brand their music as Latin if they do not have Latin roots themselves? This is such a good question to ask. What exactly can be done? 3 different things can be done in order to ensure that society is respectfully embracing Latin music while being able to listen to it and enjoy all the elements that it has to offer. The first thing we can do is educate ourselves. Such a simple thing. The second thing we can do is just show appreciation to the music genre. This is just another simple task that can be done and can really make the biggest difference when trying to embrace the culture of Latin music. One final thing that can be done is just giving credit where credit is due. In the case of Justin Bieber taking the song Despacito to number 1 on the music charts, I, for one, as a listener, never even heard of the original artist and didn't know that the song wasn't original to Bieber in the first place. In doing these 3 simple things, we can really make the biggest difference in ensuring that the Latin community and all the members that make up the music genre feel respected and like they have a place in their platform where they can express themselves while demonstrating the different elements of their own culture. A question I want to leave you guys thinking about today is, as the popularity in Latin music continues to rise, how can society embrace Latin music while maintaining cultural appropriation and appreciation? Use the knowledge I talked about on the previous slides and some of your own personal knowledge to truly answer this question. I hope everyone has a great day, and I look forward to reviewing the rest of the presentations over the music industry. Thanks for listening.